The question technique involves the mindset and a special asking method, which creates the most benefit not only for the one asking, but also for the person being asked. How is that possible? That's what this video is about. The question technique originates from systemic coaching, but can also be used in teaching, in counseling, and in leadership. Asking questions is not just for gathering information. In fact, this is just the most common use case for asking. The questioner needs an information and gets it from the answerer. But there are more purposes for questions. Assuming this field is the knowledge of the questioner, and this is the knowledge field of the answerer, then we can locate the kind of question I just talked about here and call them information questions. Then it becomes obvious that there are also rhetorical questions in which both parties know the answer. And also questions of teaching or testing in which the questioner knows the answer, the respondent rather not. But this video is about the fourth and rather unknown use case. Neither the questioner nor the respondent know the answer. And both of them are totally aware of that. These systemic questions are a starting point for joint exploration, reflection, coaching, and creative thinking. The purpose of this question type is to generate new insights for everyone involved. There are many different ways to ask a systemic question. I want to show you 4 of them: perspective questions, scaling questions, resource questions, and hypothetical questions. Number 1. Perspective questions invite to change perspectives and broaden the focus. They are an invitation and encouragement to the answerer to think about something as someone else. Example questions. How would your colleagues describe this issue? What would your best friend recommend you to do? How would you look at this as a new employee at your company? What impressions are your customers getting from this? Who has a totally different view on all this and why? Number 2, scaling questions help to create a more precise common understanding. They contain the invitation to be precise about little differences instead of choosing a simplifying yes or no. Example questions. On a scale from 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with your progress? On a scale from 1 to 10, how important is that to you? How many % of your time does that actually consume? How many times has that happened before? Number 3, resource questions focus on strengths and breakthrough generalizations. They invite the answerer to always think of what is there instead of what is missing. Example questions. Which of your skills have you not used yet to solve this? When does this issue not arise and what is different then? What benefit does the issue create? How have others solved this issue before? What should stay the same? Number 4, hypothetical questions help to broaden the mind and develop a vision. The invitation here is to use your imagination to fantasize about different conditions that can, despite being not real, help you find new solutions. Example questions. What would happen if you told everyone exactly this? What would you do next if there was no risk of failure? What would need to happen so that everyone would benefit? What do you think is the unknown factor here? Even more generally, there is something else to differentiate questions. Is it possible to answer with yes or no? Then it is a closed question. These occur if you start your question with is it, do you, has anyone, and should be avoided because they narrow the options of the answerer. If yes or no is not possible as an answer, we call the questions open questions. You can ask these if you start with which, who, how. They open up the thinking and therefore should be preferred. In fact, all 4 kinds of systemic questions should be asked as open questions. The idea behind this concept is that the answerer should always find her or his own words. If you ask with too much detail, you are suggesting your own view, which is not relevant at this moment. Let me give you an example. Is it maybe because when you're in a situation like this that you tend to think about yourself as the one who should not try to make things more complex, as the other people might think that you are maybe not really interested in a quick solution? No. and here's a better version. How do you think did the others feel in that situation? Oh, that's a good question. Maybe whenever you hear the words, that's a good question, you can celebrate for doing a good job because it means that you guided the answerer into a new area of thinking. And that will help you and the answerer. So, like I explained in the beginning, this is the unknown use case of questions. Neither the questioner nor the answerer know the answer, but both can benefit from that situation. Okay, so much for today. I hope you found it helpful. Anyway, thanks for watching.